Hello, my name is Najam Mahmood and I'm representing Forexmanagedfund.com. In April 2013, I was having lunch with a friend of mine when we decided to have a friendly bet over the value of gold. My friend, who has been trading for over 40 years, predicted that gold was going up for good. I, however, predicted that gold was going down, and this is the path it will take. This is an email from him. He says, Najam is now calling gold from this date, April 24, 2013. Gold is currently at $13.91 and it's heading to $16.81, then it's heading to $11.53, then it's heading to $14.48, then to $9.40, then to $11.51, then to $6.73, then to $19.22, and then to $2,400 level. Now, on April 24th, 2013, first move for the gold is to go up to $16.81, then it'll head down to $11.53, then it'll head up to $14.48, then it'll head down to $9.40, then it'll head up to $11.51, then to $6.73, then to $19.22, and then it'll go sideways here for a while, and then to $2,500 level. Predicting 9 accurate moves ahead of time that could take 2 to 3 years to happen or even more. There were no indicators or fundamentals were used in making this analysis, a daring, almost impossible task. This is how the market played out. On April 24th, 2013, when the gold was at $13.91, remember the black ones, the black arrows are the prediction and the greens are what actually happened. On May 3rd, 2013, market made a high of $14.87. It was supposed to go to $16.81. It just fell short of it, and once it hits a high, then it'll be heading down to $11.53. It made a low of $11.79, just about $15 short on June 28th. Once it hits this low, $11.53, then it will head up to $14.48. On August 28, 2013, market made a high of $14.33. Once a market hit $14.48 or in this vicinity, then it'll be heading down to $9.40. And as of making this presentation on February 12, 2014, market is at $12.90. Remember, this market did came down to $11.50, went back up to $12.50, $12.90, and then it's still heading down to $9.40. Remember, the red arrows are future predictions, and I still believe market is still heading down to $9.40, and this is the path it will continue taking. Now, predicted 9 moves ahead of time. Market is on its 4th move presently. No indicators or fundamentals were used in making this analysis. Now, remember that all these moves were called on April 24th, 2013, that this is the path that the market will take. Amazing? You decide. What does that mean to you? If I was to follow my plan and gold continues to follow the path I have outlined a year ago, it could make you over 200% return on your investment over the next few years conservatively. Or simply put, merely $100,000 investment would turn over $250,000 in next few years. Interested? Give us a call at 416-727-1324. Prediction on Swiss franc versus US dollars. This prediction was made on April 30th, 2013, and this time I called 4 moves ahead of time. This is the screenshot of the path that the Swiss franc would take. On April 30th, Swiss franc was at 0.9355. I predicted the market will go down to 0.9132. Once it hits 9132, it'll be heading to 9757. Once it hits 9757, it'll be heading down to 0.8868. Once it hits 0.8868, it'll be heading up to 0.9999. Again, the greens one is actually what happened. First, on May 1st, just a day after, market went down to 0.9244. I predicted 0.9132. Once it hit 9132, market is heading up to 9757, and on May 22nd, 2013, market made a high of 0.9839. Once a market made a high of 9839, it is supposed to go down to 0.8868, and December 27, 2013, market made a low of 0.8798. Once a market has made a low in this vicinity, then the market would be heading up to 0.99. As of recording this presentation on February 12, 2014, market is already at 0.9000, and it is still on the way to 0.999. 3 out of 4 moves came true with phenomenal accuracy in less than 1 year. 4th move is on its way, and again, no indicators or fundamentals were used in making this analysis. What does that mean to you? If you had followed my plan on Swiss Franc, you would have already doubled your money in less than a year. There's a still chance to make tons of money in Forex market. Interested? Give us a call at 416-727-1324. My personal record in June 2010, I predicted 13 moves ahead of time with remarkable accuracy. This is a screenshot of the Australian versus US dollars. I said this is the path that the Australian dollars would take over next few weeks or next few months, and it came to fruition with very, very high accuracy. This is not a coincidence. These moves are predicted based on precise proprietary mathematical calculations. I've heard many veterans traders refer to my analysis as far beyond impossible or predicting lotto numbers right 6 times in a row. An average trader or investor cannot comprehend how I can predict the market with so much accuracy without indicators or fundamentals. This is another prediction I predicted on April 20th, 2005. Actually, I was doing a seminar in Vancouver, 2005, a room full of 100 people. Somebody asked me, give us a prediction on Euro versus US dollars. On February 20th, 2005, Euro was at 1.3012, and I said market will be heading to 1.3310. Then it's heading down to 1.3100. Then it will be heading up to 1.3475. Then it'll be heading down to 1.2500. Remember this, all these predictions were called on February 20th in less than a minute. Now, market about 8 days later made a high of 1.3280 as opposed to 1.3310. Then it was supposed to come down to 1.3100, which it did, or very close to it, and then it was supposed to make a high at 1.3475 on March 11th. Market made a high of 1.3481. Once it hits this price of 1.3481, it should be heading down to 1.2500. Visit Forexmanagedfund.com to read Amin Hirji's testimonial. He was there when I called a prediction. 4 moves ahead of time with mind-boggling accuracy. Again, no indicators or fundamentals were used in making this analysis, and the analysis were done in front of 100 people, and it took me less than a minute to do it. What does that mean to you? If you had invested $10,000 in euro, conservatively, you would have made $19,000 profit with only $500 risk. That's tripling your money in just less than 3 months. Visit Forexmanagedfund.com, click on the testimonials. Amin Hirji, former Vice President of TD Securities, trading Forex for 23 years. And Ian Hawking, former Managing Director of large North American bank, managing portfolio of $800 million. Trading and investing can be stressful. In 2013, we made 79% return on investment. In December, we made 29% return on investment. In January, we made 13.5% return on investment. To make these kind of returns on your investment, join our winning team of amazing traders. Call 416-727-1324, or you can email me at najam@forexmanagedfund.com. I'm also available for training, interviews, and consultation.